Juwan Jennings is still blocking somebody into the cooler. Dalton Connect just scored again. Dixieland Delight is still a song about Tennessee. Drew Gilbert's home run against Wright State still hasn't landed. This is the second installment of the VFL review. Good Sunday evening. This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Thank you for the support. I've talked about it on videos. I posted on social media about it when I launched this thing on January 1st. I had the ambitious goal at the time. I was like, if I can hit 100 subscribers in a month, that'll be a pretty good start. 3 weeks in, we're right at 110. Now, thank you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the feedback. It's been very positive. Cannot say thank you enough. It's very humbling, and I'm very grateful for it. Last Sunday, I did my first installment of the VFL review, just kind of talking about Vols in NFL, NBA, current Vols as well. This is the second installment, and we'll do these every Sunday. And right now, I'll start off with Vols in NFL. So kind of made the joke at the beginning. Juwan Jennings and the 49ers last night, moving on to the NFC Championship. And the highlight of Jennings just blocking the Packers guy all the way over. He just wanted to drink a Gatorade. That's it. That's it. He just played to the whistle. But Juwan Jennings is still Juwan Jennings, one of the great Vols ever. 5 catches, 61 yards. Another good game for him. 49ers moving on, and they will be hosting the Detroit Lions, who just beat Tampa Bay 31-23. 4 Vols, 4 former Vols are on Detroit. Jalen Reeves-Maben, Cam Sutton, both starters for Detroit. Emmanuel Mosley, which you got to feel sorry for the guy. Had an ACL injury, came back. I think it was first game back, tore it again. I think it was the other ACL. So he's on injured reserve. And then you got Hendon Hooker. I think he could play in an emergency situation, if I'm not mistaken. But, the path right now for Hooker in Detroit in the field anytime soon is probably not real clear with the way Jared Goff is playing and the way Detroit's playing. But 4 former Vols on there, and I was looking at, if it's accurate, what I saw, there's currently 31 former Vols in the NFL. You've got the guys I just mentioned, and then right now, as I'm currently recording this, Trey Smith with the Chiefs, they're playing the Bills tonight to see if they can advance to the AFC Championship as well. Be a tough task for them to not playing in Buffalo, but as you know, when Kansas City and Buffalo plays, anything is possible. But the only thing is there's no former VFLs from what I'm seeing on the Baltimore Ravens, and that team, it's going to take a lot to beat them, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's going to take a lot to beat them. I hope someone does. I hope either the Lions or 49ers are able to do that. Either one will be fine. But so that's your former VFLs. Of course, last week, Gerard Mayo named head coach of the New England Patriots. I thought that was a big deal. Just that a former VFL, one of the, if not the youngest coach in the league, takes over. We'll see how he does. First head coaching job. He was mentioned. I seen his name mentioned a little bit when Josh Heupel was hired at Tennessee. Don't think it serious, just a mention, but congrats to him once again. So there's your former Vols in the NFL, and I apologize getting choked up. Had a little sinus issues going on here, but Vols in the NBA right now. So really pretty much your top performing former Vols, Tobias Harris. With Philadelphia, you also have Jaden Springer with Philadelphia. Harris, he's averaging about 17, closer to 18 points a game. Right now, you got Keon Johnson listed on the Nets. He's only played in 1 game, so I'm not sure if he's out hurt, what the deal is there. In the 1 game, he scored 12 points. Julian Phillips with the Bulls, he's averaging about 3 points per game. 3 minutes per game. He's not even averaging a point per game. Josh Richardson's with the Heat, averaging right at about 10 points per game. I'm showing Admiral Schofield with the Magic averaging about a little over a point per game. And then you got Grant Williams with Dallas averaging a little over 8 points per game. He plays 20, 30 minutes per night, so doing what he does. So obviously I think that will be added to next year with Dalton Connect. I haven't looked at any more mock drafts for the NBA here recently. The last one I seen had him latter part of the first round. You got to think with the week he's had the last 2 weeks and what he's done, he's going up that draft board. This dude's going to play in the NBA, and he's going to be, I think he's going to be a good, really good player up there. I keep comparing Austin Reeves. You know, I use the obvious comparisons there, but his game translates a lot to it. He's a smooth shooter, good offensive game, you know, good vertical. And Jimmy Dykes has talked about this. Dalton Connect plays good enough defense to play in the NBA. All right, Rick Barnes demands more than what the NBA does in defense. I always laugh when a team, me being a Lakers fan, going back to the Showtime era, and what they're doing this year is, I don't give. They'll mention defense. They're giving up 130 points a game on a night, and they'll say something about their defense. Yeah, that 1 or 2 defensive possessions might have made the difference, you know. But fully expect Connect to be added to that. And then I'm curious to see where some guys like Jonas Adu, where is his draft stock at? Does he start to creep up? You know, possibly at least a second-round selection. I got to think with the way he's playing this year, he's arguably been Tennessee's second-best player. I don't even know if it's arguable. Been playing really good basketball, numerous double-doubles on the year. Had another 19 points yesterday against Alabama. And then Zakai Ziegler, what's his prospects? I definitely think he's a 4-year guy, but he's a guy I'm starting to think can play in the league. I really do. He's, with his defense, he's not afraid of anybody. I think there's a few possible guys that may play up there. Definitely Connect, and then we'll see about the rest of them as well. And speaking of men's basketball, good week for them. Defeated Florida on Tuesday, defeated Alabama yesterday, both dominant victories. Can't say enough about how this team's playing. Rick Barnes is feeling it right now. Just some of his comments, you see some of these videos, and he's saying we've got everything we need right now. Nobody wants to win a championship more than Rick Barnes. You can't tell. I mean, yeah, we've all gotten aggravated with how the teams have performed, where they finished. This team, man, we're going to see. So I misspoke yesterday on my post video because I looked at the schedule and just went in order. They are actually off until next Saturday. Play at Vanderbilt next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Then they're midweek against South Carolina. The following Saturday is going to be a big one at Rupp Arena in Kentucky. 8:30 game as it's listed. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee and Kentucky both continue on their ways if you don't see ESPN College Game Day basketball at that game. So we'll see. That's going to be a true test. Vandy will be tough. It's on the road. You can never take an SEC road game for granted. Doesn't matter how bad the team is. South Carolina at home, I fully expect, not this coming Tuesday, but next, Tennessee will run them out of the building. And Lady Vols also 2-0 week this week. I heard it mentioned yesterday. Jimmy Dykes talked a little bit about looking at the Lady Vols and how they're currently listed as like first 4 out. That's not the standard down here, but they're currently 12-6, 5-1 in the SEC. They come out playing really well. Have the one loss to Texas A&M. They're off this week as well, and then they'll resume next Sunday against Ole Miss. So here's the hope of the Lady Vols continue with their hot ways as well. And then just kind of wrap up here, baseball. Another poll was released this week. D1 Baseball released their top 25 poll. They had Tennessee ranked 9th. And they ranked their incoming freshman classes, and they had Tennessee ranked 11th with the incoming freshmen. And be curious to see who contributes. I think there's a shortstop, Antigua, who, from what I've read, Ben McKee say has a real shot to be starting at shortstop this year. And then some of these pitchers, Matthew Dallas is listed as one of their top guys as well. And I put a picture of Blake Burke. I'm going out on a limb. My bold prediction for this year, Blake Burke is going to hit a 500-foot home run. It's going to happen. This dude's got another year in the weight room. I feel it's going to happen this year. He hit some monster bombs last year. The one Southern Miss was just what, 480, 470 something. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy where that went. I'm fully expecting at some point this year someone is going to throw him that inner low fastball, and he's going to plant it about 500 and some feet away. My bold prediction for the year. We'll see if it happens or not. But upcoming for the week, George McIntyre announces in the morning, 10:20. Of course, the Vols football this week added 2 commitments out of the portal today. Hurd from LSU, and then the defensive tackle Moy, I think's how you pronounce it, out of Stanford. 2 good pickups. I've really liked what they've done in the portal, and I'm going to release something this week, kind of update and look at what they've done out of the portal as well. But fully anticipate good news in the morning. George McIntyre announces, if I'm reading everything right, it'll be Eastern time around 10:20. And he was in Knoxville yesterday. There was a photo of him at the game with Josh Heupel sitting next to him. Don't think it's a coincidence. I do not think it's a coincidence. And that's going to be big. That's going to be big for this class. They already have a few commitments out of Atlanta already. You add George McIntyre in, now you're going to start seeing some others. I had Dave Sanders, number 1 offensive tackle out of Charlotte, was down there. I don't think that was coincidental, as well as smart quarterback is going to want the best blocking for him. And according to the rankings, there's your guy, David Sanders. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving this channel just an opportunity. All right, new channel, fresh out the gates. But thank you. You guys enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you later this week. As always, go Vols.
Everyone rejects me, even in my best dreams.